competition. In 2012, he won the Miles Client Interview competition and went on to represent Macquarie Law School at the ALSA negotiation competition. He previously worked at Macquarie Lawyers and is currently working in the Office of the Attorney General of Samoa. And in 2014, he'll be returning to his role at Ashurst. You'll note that earlier this evening, Ryan was awarded the New South Wales Law Society Prize for sustained academic proficiency in law units and the meritorious contribution to the affairs of Macquarie Law School. So when I consulted with colleagues as to who amongst our top students would be a worthy recipient of this particular prize, the name that recurred the most amongst all of our staff was that of Ryan. Ryan is from one of our first graduating cohorts of the graduate LLB, and amongst the graduate LLB students, he finished first among that particular cohort and deserves our congratulations for that. Certainly from my perspective as Dean of the Law School, I've been very grateful for Ryan's assistance in various marketing events and really his continual efforts to promote the law school. His contribution to the competitions was singled out, his promotions of the PACE program was also highlighted. He's somebody I think who's had a fairly strong influence amongst both staff and students during his time in Macquarie, and so it's a pleasure to be able to welcome him to address everyone here tonight.
Very undeserving of that introduction, so thank you very much, Natalie. It's a pleasure to be here tonight. Being at Macquarie Law, prize recipients tonight, sponsors of the prize recipients, academics, families and friends of the award recipients, and as already mentioned, most importantly, the prize recipients themselves. It's an honour to be here and to be addressing you all, and to be here and witnessing all your successes, some of you who have achieved top across your respective degrees, and all of you, or some of you, across your entire degree. Whether you've just started your second year of law tonight, or tonight represents a symbolic closure and final night, I guess, of your law degree, congratulations on your success. For myself, it's particularly sentimental because this time around 3 years ago, and Natalie mentioned I'm a graduate student, I thought to myself I didn't have what it took to do a law degree. Now I look back at the last 3 years as some of the most fulfilling in my life. The opportunities I've had and the friends I've made have made this experience extremely memorable, and I think it'll stay with me for the rest of my life. While it's not easy, a law degree, and it has its frustrations, long nights, and seemingly insurmountable challenges, it's most certainly rewarding whether or not we make it here on prize night. But for those of us who have made it here, as you can tell, I'm a little bit nervous. I'm speaking to some wonderful and high caliber people tonight, so please bear with me. In recognising our achievements tonight, we must first be mindful, as has been mentioned earlier, of the academics at Macquarie Law. For myself, I know that some of these academics will remain lifelong friends of mine. Others will be friends and professional contacts in my professional pursuits in the future. But all have contributed to the legacy of learning and instilling a passion for the love for law. Those moments across our entire degree shape our individual experiences, mould to a large extent our worldview, develop our capacity to reflect, rationalise and reason, and ultimately help us determine how best to use our law degrees in the future. I distinctly remember being a first-year student 3 years ago, actually it was 4 years ago, in my Foundations of Law tutorial, being asked a question by a tutor. I didn't know the answer, so I fumbled my response, hoping he'd let me off and ask somebody else, but he didn't. He kept pushing me and pressing me, and eventually told me and the rest of the class that we should be thinking like lawyers, not first-year law students. The reason why I remember that clearly is not only because I was put on the spot in my first year, but it was an interesting moment because what it did was force me to remain conscious of a seemingly distant professional future while remaining engaged in the learning process in the present. For that, I couldn't be more appreciative. He's not here tonight, but I'll thank him in person when I see him. I also remember taking part in my first ever law competition, mooting. Now, it's quite an intimidating experience for those of us who aren't from a legal background. But one of the staff here, who's a long-time staff at Macquarie Law, was the judge. And she gave me some advice, gave me some critical feedback, yet encouraged me to go further. Again, it was challenging, but very rewarding, and I recommend it to every student that hasn't considered doing it in the past. We didn't win mooting, we never did, but that doesn't matter. The point is, look, her advice was great, it's just that I don't think we took it on board to the extent we should. The preparation, learning, and the group work that was involved with mooting formed some of the best experiences and memories that I had in my law degree. It helped me enrich my education whilst here. It also helped me recognize that education is much more than just what's in textbooks and within the classroom. And that education can be much more fulfilled when we embrace opportunities which are outside the classroom. Now, just very quickly, I know you've all been sitting here for a long time, because I've been here too. But one of those opportunities, or one of those experiences rather, that shaped my experience in the last 3 years here, and really allowed me to contemplate and realize the extent that out of classroom education provides, occurred in June or July 2011. Whilst I was overseas, I heard news that some friends of mine, Bahati, his wife, Sal, and their 2-year-old daughter, had, after a long period of time, been denied their application for refugee status in Australia. So the process was an arduous one, and the risk of them being sent back to Congo was very real. It was very urgent for them. To legal aid, they were just another family going through the process of the applications that come through every week. To their lawyer, the lawyer had the best intentions, but he had limited time, limited resources, and even more limited budget. So I remember discussing this with a few law students, some of whom are here tonight, in fact all of them are here tonight, and thought that even though we're 4th-year law students, that we can help. We collaborated with the lawyer that had been assigned to that family. We organised research amongst ourselves. Oh, mind you, I forgot a very important point. The primary reason in which the application was denied was insufficient evidence. So we thought that through research we could remedy that. So we spent time in our July break, and these students, without any expectation of reward or even a favourable outcome, gathered enough sufficient evidence that could assist with a review of the initial decision in the tribunal. What eventually happened was that the tribunal found for the family, and it was held that they have the right to remain in Australia as refugees. Bahati, and this is a result of collaboration with the law students here at Macquarie, who had the audacity to put their hands up to help. Bahati is now an electrician, working as an electrician. Sal is training to be a nurse, and the 2-year-old daughter, which is now 4, funny that, she ages, and she loves preschool, all her preschool friends, and something called Angelina Ballerina, which wasn't around when I was young. There are many other stories like that Macquarie University students can share, and I'm sure I'm not aware of all of them. But what it goes to show is that we as law students have opportunities to do amazing things. We can choose to remain fixated within the classroom or within textbooks, or we can choose to embrace the many opportunities that will present themselves across our lives. Some of the best advice that I've received by, again, one of the academics here, and I'm sure many of us have received in the past, is that we shouldn't, or rather we ought not to shy away from being wrong, or from embarrassing ourselves. The red face lasts so long. Why do you think I accepted to take this speech? I feel that some of my most embarrassing, some of my poorest performances, as well as my best, have been here at Macquarie Law. I'll let you judge how tonight is. As Australian broadcaster and writer Philip Adams has said, he's been around for the last 30 years in the Australian. He says that unless you're willing to have a go, fail miserably, and have another go, then success won't happen. That's something we should all acknowledge as prize recipients here tonight. Macquarie Law provides us with countless opportunities to grow beyond the walls of our classrooms. While we may not have the dedicated law libraries or the sandstone halls of some other establishments, we have a strong sense of pride for noble reasons. We're active learners and not passive recipients. We have a sense of collegiality, of ingenuity, and a can-do attitude that doesn't necessarily come with rote learning. We consistently impress, as has been discussed tonight, we impress and surprise our counterparts at both national and international competitions. And our ability to overcome perceived challenges in our law school, as again was mentioned tonight with Nicholas Ferrari, make us all a stronger cohort of students. And through our PACE and community legal engagement programs which are unique to Macquarie, we become a lot more balanced in our career aspirations, and it's for that which we should be thankful and also distinguishes us from some other institutions. Tonight is also a reminder that it will be likely us who represent this law school in our respective careers and pursuits who will be aiming for higher heights in the paths that we choose to tread. Whatever path we choose, let's make sure it's indeed our own and not merely follow the paths and the well-trodden paths of somebody else. Unless, of course, you're stuck in the bush and you've got no reception and no water, you see a path and follow that. In the last month or so, or last 6 weeks or so in Samoa, one of the biggest things I've learned is that life's enrichment doesn't necessarily correlate neatly with the things that we like to typically associate with success. Money and status mean little if we feel unhappy with the paths that we've chosen and goals that we're striving for. One thing I've learned again in Samoa is that we should measure our success through happiness, because once we're happy with the paths that we've chosen, the goals that we're seeking, we'll most likely be successful. So let's be happy for what tonight represents. We have dedicated law staff who differ in their approaches to teaching. This makes us malleable and adaptable as students. Those experiences in your classes has shaped us and made us appreciate the complexities and intricacies of the law. You encouraged us, and some of you even instilled a healthy dose of fear in us, and for that I thank you. At first it was something I was trying to shy away from, but I think that sense of a heart pounding against your chest means that you prepare for tutorials, and that helps. I thank those other staff who let us off as a breather from those staff. And I thank the students of the Law Society. On behalf of every student that's been through this institution, students of the Law Society are, with their unfailing and unwavering efforts to ensure that the benefits of social events and competitions are shared by as many as possible. Thank you also to the prize sponsors, without whom we wouldn't be here tonight, or at least we'd be here, but without any money. And also to our peers. These successes that we've all achieved are directly attributable to the strength and support of our classmates, while the friendships we've all forged have been made in the heat of anxiety and pre-exam stress. I remember the hours that I spent with a few law students here until 5 o'clock in the morning before my business organizations exam has helped make them some of my closest. And it's also helped me vow never to drink Red Bull again. Most importantly, and finally, a final thanks to all of you here as family and friends of the prize and award recipients. It is you who deserve the final applause for your unwavering support throughout our tenure here. You've been our backbone and our balance, and our first and most enduring educators. I hope that we can, as prize recipients and as recent graduates or people progressing through their law degree, hopefully repay you for all your efforts, because these awards that we've been received tonight are all dedicated to you. Congratulations again, and I wish you all the success and happiness in the future. Thank you.
What you said struck a chord with everybody in the room, and appreciate that immensely.